Hello, hello, and welcome back to Bam Smith TV. Um, I missed you guys. Where were you? I'm glad you're back. Now we can get in these topics that we got on display or that we got set up. Is social media a good or bad thing? Hold on one second. Is social media a good or bad thing? Do I think it's a good or a bad thing? I mean, clearly I'm using it right now, so I can't think it's all bad. I think at the end of the day, it depends on how you use it, is what makes it a good or a bad thing. What do I mean by that? I think that that's pretty self-explanatory. If you're on social media trying to promote a certain agenda, of course, um, what it is like I said yesterday. Let's back up. Yesterday, I had a conversation about promoting healthy relationships, and within that, I talked about how social media can affect your relationships, or how social media has a certain effect on people where it causes them to do something like monkey see, monkey do, where they want to follow what the next person is doing. They want to get on that bandwagon. And sometimes that could be a good thing for motivational or inspirational purposes. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you're following somebody and they're causing you to continue to perpetuate a certain type, a stereotype or a negative behavior, I don't think that that's a good thing. So, and social media gives people the platform to push that or promote that. At the end of the day, I think that we all have our own. We have the power of choice, right? So we can decide at the end of the day to follow that person or not follow that person. If we don't like what they're saying, then you know we just unfollow, unsubscribe. If you don't agree with a person's message, you could comment on it, but that's pretty much where it stays. I think that we forgot the point of it is just to create social interaction. I mean, the companies that create these platforms also profit and benefit to account for. Well, I thought I lost y'all for a second. Well, but yeah, it's also that to account for or think about. But it all depends on, at the end of the day, how you use this platform. That's the message that I want to push forth with: is social media a good or bad thing? Um, I want to talk about right quick a little bit more in depth about banning people and people being banned on particular platforms. I think that anytime these accounts, these let's say these social media companies have a certain type of agenda. Of course, they've made it to the billions of dollars. A lot of them, like the Twitters and the Facebooks, the Googles, all of them have been. These companies are in the billions of dollars. So with that, it comes a certain type of political bias, a certain type of agenda that they have to push, and that's just the reality of it. So I think sometimes when you're talking about certain things that go against that agenda, and again, I'm just speaking in a general sense, when you're saying certain things that go against that agenda in a certain way, you got to expect that they're going to try to ban you, they're going to try to silence you, they're going to try to come out with a billion different ways to hush you or, slower your following. I mean, lower your following. Uh, do I think that that's a good or a bad thing? No, not really, because these are American companies, and if you're in America, you're supposed to have the freedom of speech. Like I think that that's one of our rights, right? But of course, freedom of speech doesn't create freedom of consequence. You feel me? You still have consequences and repercussions. Did I just say that you have consequences and repercussions for everything you say? Yeah, yeah, I said that right. So if you own these particular platforms and they come down with, again, at the end of the day, it depends on my personal feelings on it is, you know, whatever dumbass person wants to follow whoever and do what they say and they don't know how to think for themselves, that's on them at the end of the day. Don't feed bullshit. Don't give bullshit your attention. You know what I mean? Like if it's something that you know that this message um, is detrimental, you know, I think that that's why they call that your feed, your little news feed. You know, you feeding yourself all the information, all of the people that you choose to follow and stuff. Now, of course, they got the sponsored ads and all of that shit, you know, which is a whole nother issue with social media that I think, if you want to talk about a problem, I think that that's a real problem. Them selling your information to other companies in order to promote certain ads. I think that that's a real problem. I think that we have to be kind of smart about the problems that we target or the things that we complain about with these apps. But, you know, again, like I said, the banning people and because of something that they say that you don't like or you don't agree with, again, that's why you have fingers to comment, send a message. That's also why, I mean, like again, but if it goes, they try to create this like contract with you, terms and conditions or community guidelines when you sign up with them with any of these companies that is basically kind of left open to interpretation. It's just like the law; it's kind of left up to interpretation. If that company feel like you did something that is egregious enough, then they'll ban you or they'll block you from putting your message out forever. But again, like I said, it depends. To me, I still think that everybody should have freedom of speech. That's just my personal thoughts. It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope when you get into the banning people shit because, you know, so, say for instance, okay, what's something that, for example, Nick Cannon, he was on his own platform. He was on his own podcast. I forget the name of it at the time, what he was doing, but everybody remembers when he spoke about the Jewish community and Viacom terminated his Wild 'N Out show for a moment in time and banned him. Now, they didn't focus on what he said being correct or incorrect or truthful or not truthful. It was that he said something that possibly hurt this community or, you know, somebody's feelings was, you know, I don't know, twisted up or whatever. And, you know, he lost real life money behind that shit. Again, like I said, with the banning on social media and the cancel culture as a whole taking over social media and everybody getting in their feelings about what somebody say, I don't agree with it. My personal thoughts, I don't give a fuck what you say to me. You can go into my comments right now and talk about me, talk about anybody that I know or I care about. At the end of the day, I know that you are not a real person. You don't exist in my life. And if you existed in my life and you said that to my face, I'd slap shit out of you. So, you know, I think that people have gotten used to, you know, being able to say or whatever and being able to say whatever the fuck they want and then cry about it online at the same time. They kind of playing both sides of the fence. So that's why I'm saying where banning people is a slippery slope because people could be trying to get people banned just because something that, you know, like they're black. You feel me? Like at the end of the day, I think that Nick Cannon shit was because he was black and he was saying a message that goes against the mainstream's message. So, like I said, it's a slippery slope when it comes to that. Another thing I want to say about social media is, you know, everything ain't meant to be recorded and posted. Yeah, everything ain't meant to be recorded and posted as well. So, you know, I think I was on Twitter the other day and I seen this couple that the man was mad because he came home and his wife didn't cook or some shit like that. And instead of him talking with his wife and addressing her in private, you feel me? He chose to record her, you know, walking into the house. I just worked a 13-hour shift. And you ain't cook for me, you ain't cook for me, which is it's understandable. He's paying for whatever for her, and this he feels like she should make him dinner or whatever. She didn't make you dinner, okay? That's not a conversation for us to have an opinion about. You get what I'm saying? Like the public at large doesn't need to know that your wife didn't cook you dinner. Like, what was the point of that? What did you gain? You look like a lame for working all those hours and coming home to an ungrateful wife, and she looks lazy because she didn't cook you dinner and you're paying for everything. So, what was the goal? Was the goal to make y'all look bad? I don't think that he thought that. I think that he think that he's just sharing something with the public. But the point of that, it had no point. The only thing it did was make y'all look bad. So again, certain things to me, I don't think should be shared online. And that goes for a lot of different things. Like whatever message you're trying to send, you got to be, remember, back to my main point, it depends on how you use this. It depends on how you use this thing, right? That's the type of effect that it has. So, I mean, it might cannot have no effect at all, uh, but usually it's going to have either positive or negative effect. Because, like I said yesterday, something that has this many people connected to it at one time, it's almost impossible for it not to have a positive or negative effect on anybody. You feel me? Out of all the billions of people, I could say the sky is blue, and somebody would argue with me that the sky is yellow. And then there'll be a scientist that'll come out and there'll be a new study that'll say the sky is actually yellow. But according to our retinas and the way that we perceive light, the sky is blue. So it'll be some cockamamie shit like that, at the end of the day. And that's one of the reasons why I say you got to be kind of careful with the shit you follow and what you want to put out there. You know what I mean? Like, that's just from a personal standpoint. Now, again, at the end of the day, you have the freedom of speech. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. You can put out whatever message you want to put out. And it's on the person or it's on the individual that signs into that app, that clicks on that video or that image or that post and reads it. Like I said, they have one or two decisions. Ultimately, they could comment on it, say how they feel about that and move on, and y'all can have a back and forth, or they can ignore the shit and go away. But you know what? These platforms give them a third choice, of course, to report it. You feel me? And uh, it depends on you as a person. Like if you want to get into all of that, like if you want to get into snitching or reporting people's posts and shit. I, I don't know. You know, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I do it to people to troll people just because I think it's funny. You feel me? So it just it's one of those things to me that is nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense why people go over the top about these platforms and shit. Like I say, they're just a tool at the end of the day. Let me get into some of these comments before I go on to the next topic. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Ellie's tuning in as usual with his comments. This time, I think he got it right. We got a lot of keyboard warriors. Yes, we do. That is very, very true. I think that, like my point earlier, a lot of people would talk a lot of shit online because they don't have to say it to you directly in your face. So, it provides a shield of protection. So that's what make people comfortable with saying certain shit, both negative and positive. You know, well, mostly negative. I can't think of any positive ways that could turn out being a keyboard warrior. And what Nick said was true. It's on the web. Yeah, 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 100%. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't remember what Nick Cannon said exactly, bro. Let me see if I can pull that shit up. Um, it gets canceled. think he was saying something about the Holocaust. Yeah, anti-Semitic comments. I'm gonna show y'all so y'all can see what the hell I'm looking at. Uh, According to Variety, before anti-Semitic comments, Nick Cannon decried cancel culture. What the fuck? Nah, I want to see what he got canceled for. Yeah, there we go. NPR. Fired over anti-Semitic comments. Nick Cannon wants Wild 'N Out ownership. Okay. Roughly improv show. He said he apologized to his Jewish brothers and sisters and he demanded full ownership on a podcast episode with Richard Griffin, or Professor Griff, who was kicked out of Public Enemy in 1989. Jews were responsible for the majority of wickedness that goes on around the globe. Throughout the interview, Cannon engages in anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, asking, why do we give so much power to the days turn into Illuminati, Zionists, and Rothschild, referring to the wealthy Jewish families often used as dog whistles for anti-Semites. So that's a crazy word to come out with, you know? Anti-Semites. They got a particular word for being racist against Jewish people. They don't have a particular word for being racist against black people. They just call it racism. Ain't that some funny shit? Let me see. See who the Rothschild family, who that is. Rothschild's family tree. Not gonna pull that shit up. Maybe I am. Well, we all know who the Rothschild family is, the Rockefeller family is at the end of the day. If you don't know, do your research, look them up. It's crazy how they call us monkeys when the first caveman was white, and if we come from ape, why wasn't the first caveman black? It's a good question. I thought we came from the Homo erectus. Human beings. I mean, whose theory was that? Is that Darwin theory about human evolution? Humans' evolution. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Darwin theory, crux of evolution. I'm just Googling shit right now, like stuff that I kind of already know. But yeah, I wish the picture would load up. Yeah, that was what we supposedly evolved from. I don't remember what class I had this shit in, but I remember them talking about it. The Homo erectus is the most close relative to us. Homo erectus and Homo neanderthal. You know, I think that they said that this was the first version of the Homo sapien. So, you know, the Neanderthal is also an early version of the man, but it was more barbaric in its approach. It was, you know, it was stronger, of course, too, but like it was more barbaric as well. So it wasn't a thinking creature, and they said that the Homo erectus and Neanderthals were mating and crossbreeding, and that's how you got the Homo sapien. So, yeah, a little history for you, a little science. But yeah, that's a little bit about the cavemen's being white or black or whatever. I don't think race is a social construct at the end of the day. So, you know, we identify as human beings. It's just that, of course, over a period of time, we started relegating ourselves into certain groups based off of culture, geography. There's many different reasons why we have um, a black race, a white race, a Hispanic race. I mean, if you think about it, if you really actually think about it, Spanish or being Hispanic is a culture and more of a language than it is a racial identity. You know, if you really think about it, because uh, a lot of Spain or the Spanish is in Europe, right? Spain is in Europe, of course. So it had to come from Europeans. I don't know. This is just me thinking at the end of the day. Nick said white people are real monkeys and they got animal DNA in them, and that's why they can eat raw meat. Uh, I can keep going on. Going, Nick was going in. Okay, well let's see. Let's look up the science behind it. Let's see. I think it was they said that white people have a higher percentage of Neanderthal in their DNA. So I think that that's what the science behind it is. Let me see. Hmm. Okay. I found an article here. Let me share it with you. How Neanderthals became white. The introgression of race into contemporary human evolutionary genetics. I'm not gonna read all of this shit. If y'all want to read it, y'all can read it yourself. It's the University of Chicago Press Journals. So yeah, that's one. Europeans look down on Neanderthals, understanding human evolution, understanding human Neanderthal DNA contributes to genetic diversity. No, don't want to see this. Hmm. Mm. I mean, I think it would. I think it's one of those things where if you go in depth, if you go too in depth with it, and you think about it if you think about it really, really hard, you could say that we all have derived from that, scientifically speaking, like in one way, shape, form, or fashion or another. You know, um, I'm not gonna get into too much into the science of races and shit, and which one, you know, from natural selection is what, because thanks to the Middle Passage and thanks to slavery, we all, as Black people, might have some caucasity in our DNA. So Nick said that white people, that's white people ancestor. Yeah, Nick might be right. You know, yeah, I don't know Black people that eat raw meat, eat medium rare meat. No, I don't eat it either. It makes you sick. Yeah, it definitely make you sick. Yeah. I mean, that's one of them things, my boy. I know a lot of white people that like rare or medium rare meat too, but it's because of a taste or a flavor thing from what they've said. I watched a few channels like I don't know if you know Guga Foods. Guga he makes kind of like medium rare or rare steaks and shit like that. So mm, not white people. I don't know black people that eat medium rare meat. Not white people. Yeah, black people don't. I mean, I know some black people that do, but I don't think it's how you love your food is not contingent upon your race. I see that there are certain things in cultures that you know both cultures do, which of course is for black people season their food or clean their food properly. I've seen that. I can say with great confidence that black people love their seasonings, uh, and they season their food a lot better, But of course, again, I might be biased. They love blood. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I got a homeboy. I think my homeboy Pete was telling me at one point in time that he liked his steak bloody. Yeah. Okay. You think that that's true for all white people that they love the taste of blood? Ellie? I don't know. I wouldn't say all. I think that again, the stereotypes within that maybe some do, or the more prominent ones that we know do. But it's hard to say all when it comes to anything. And usually when you're using they, you mean all. But yeah. So I mean, what is it they say that black people love? Black people love chicken and watermelon. I don't think all black people love chicken and watermelon. You know, I don't like chicken on the bone, which surprises most people. But yeah, most and 90% love their food bloody. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. I'm done reading those comments. Social media can be addictive. You know, I wanted to talk about that right quick, um, which leads me back to the video that I saw earlier today, where the man was kind of recording his wife not cooking him a meal, and he was bitching and moaning at her about it. Yes, that app, all of these many different apps. You got Facebook, Snapchat, um, Twitch, Twitter, miss Instagram. Even all of the YouTube, Pinterest, even all of these apps can be addictive because. And matter of fact, let me pull up the science behind that. Hmm. All right, here we go. I'll share this with y'all. I'll probably talk about all of this shit more in depth on the Crash Culture podcast whenever I get that going again, because these are a lot of good topics. But you know, I just kind of am on here just flushing out the ideas in a general sense, and when I get more, I guess I'm just on here talking with y'all about this shit to try to get a little bit of clarity or get some ideas to talk about on the other show right now while I'm in between and doing interviews and shit. You feel me? Because I got some interviews with some people that I want to bring up and I want to talk to them. I'm interested to see their perspective on it. One of them is you, Ellie. Another one is probably my homeboy that's a cop now. He's supposed to come up. He flaked on me. If you hear me out there, nigga, you flaked. You know, we're going to see if we can get you back going again. I got a few other friends I want to bring up. And then we might start bringing up random people that I never met before in my life, but I know about, or people that I have very little contact, but I see what they're doing and I'm interested to learn about it. So, social media addiction is good for your physical health and psychological well-being. You want to drive and connect. Yeah, see, same shit I just said. They just put it in a blog. Yeah, we all social creatures and shit. So, finally becoming connected to social media. Dependency in online users. And it is within the younger generation because let me say this. Let me pull this up, this image. Y'all remember this. Y'all remember this guy. Where is he at? Where's our guy? Remember our guy. We left Tom hanging. We left this nigga hanging. He would never do to us what Mark Zuckerberg has been doing to us. He would never. We left our dog Tom hanging. That was my generation. We was around when social media first started, so we kind of know, we kind of use it to kind of talk a little bit of shit and connect with people and whatnot. But this is when it was at its peak. You feel me? When we had very little understanding about it, and it was just meant to show off our profile and our pictures and just talk shit. Now we done got so advanced, bitches selling premium Snapchats. They is literally bagging and selling their content online now. So, we done got too advanced now with this shit in a short amount of time. And if you think about it, it ain't been around, but when was MySpace created? Let's see. Let's see. In 2003. 2003. MySpace was created. That's a goddamn shame. It's a goddamn shame, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't been around for what? A little over 15 years. And we already are losing our fucking minds over this shit every day. It's a goddamn shame. So I think that the message today is moderation, and balance. Yeah. We need Mark back. We need Mark back. Mark. You mean Tom? What the fuck am I agreeing with what the fuck you said? We need Tom. His name was Tom, Ellie, not Mark. Mark Zuckerberg is the nigga that runs Facebook. And the dude who kind of cloned all of the shit that Instagram had coming out and then bought Instagram. And then now he's doing this new meta bullshit and trying to create a metaverse. So, nah, Tom was a humble guy. Tom knew his lane and he knew what the people want and he stuck to it. Tom was that dude. Goddamn shit. I wonder what the fuck Tom up to now. What does he do now? Let me see. What does Tom do now? What's Tom having? Ain't this about a bitch? Ain't this about a bitch? Tom didn't even sold his own company out. Tom is on Instagram. Ain't that some shit? Oh, but he's exploring the world with his girlfriend, posting crazy pictures and shit of places he probably been and stuff he's doing. Tom is living a life, man. Tom is out here fucking living, dog. Wow. I'm happy for you, Tom. I'm happy for you. That brings a smile to all of our faces from that MySpace generation. Goddamn Tom Anderson. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen at home. He was that dude. But yeah, now, instead of having Tom, what's a big social media personality now that we have online? We have with something that everybody subscribes. So instead, I'll show you who we have now. This is who we have now. Cabby Lane. Cabby Lane. This is our Tom. He has 2.3 billion likes. Just for making fun of, like, you know, basically like common sense shit. Cabby Lane is the new Tom. And I guess these are all people that were Instagram famous. I know none of these fuckers. I know not one of these people. I know none. None. Not a goddamn one. Oh, Salt Bay. Y'all remember him? I think now it's more of like, you know, people that just go viral for a specific niche thing. I think that that's what got everybody jocking on social media. But yeah. So, yeah. Tom was that dude. And social media has now become like, you know, just one of those tools, one of those things that we do, one of those things that we use. I don't know, people. Give me something else to talk about for these next 5 or 10 minutes. Ellie, while you're in here. Because you're the only person in here right now. Everybody else is at church. So I already went in depth with the shit that I was talking about. And we already made my points. I really don't have a lot to say about this shit because I still use it. So, you know, I could rail against the machine all day long about, you know, the effects of it, and you know, I'm not gonna go into depth with all of that. Like I said, it's just useful. Feel me? But yeah, if you ain't got nothing to say, my nigga, I'm finna end this stream. It's gonna be a short one today. I gotta go to work in a little bit.